two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan enjoys wrestling and the Heartbreak Dude Denton, and this is our WWE edition of this week, and we are going to talk all big things of SmackDown, where Roman finally speaks, Monday Night Raw, and NXT, baby. Plus, we'll have a segment and our MVDs and LVDs for the week. And don't forget, tomorrow, we're also going to be talking about AEW. So if you like AEW, tune into that podcast as well.
All in week. Yep.
All in week. I'm still wondering, are we going to watch it or I got to figure it out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, isn't it at like noon or something?
It's at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So yeah,
so 10 o'clock my time?
Yeah.
Weird. The last one wasn't like that.
No, the last one was at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think.
Yeah,
2 o'clock,
weird
something like that.
It's because nobody's watching it. But the things look stacked. But anyway, we're in WWE, and we're now only a week away from Bash in Berlin. So we got some stuff going on. So are you ready?
And No Mercy. NXT No Mercy's next week too.
Oh, is it the same? Is it in Berlin? No,
it's not. It's somewhere else. But it's the Berlin's on Saturday, and No Mercy's on Sunday.
Got it. Okay. Cool beans. All right. You ready? You ready to get into SmackDown?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. Let's go. SmackDown review. Let's go. Tiffany Stratton and Pretty Deadly are ready to celebrate Nia Jax. Jax carried to the ring like royalty. She brags, and Mitchin, with one boob hanging out, attacks and cleans house. Naomi, Cargill, and Bianca want to celebrate too. I don't know why they're celebrating. And so does Carmelo Hayes. Everybody wants to celebrate. Then Carmelo Hayes defeats Andrade, and they brawl after the match, so we're probably going to get some more. Solo tells Tama Tonga that if Roman takes the lay from him, then Roman is the tribal chief. Blair Davenport defeats Naomi. Womp womp. Kevin Owens defeats Grayson Waller after having a very energetic promo backstage with him. After the match, Waller and Theory try to attack, but Cody Rhodes makes the save. Legado del Fantasma are eating dinner, and Santos Escobar says he'll be U.S. champ. LA Knight disagrees. Yeah, Nia Jax attacks Mitchin, both boobs in her shirt this time, backstage after she claims she's getting a title shot. Street Profits defeat DIY to become the number one contenders. Solo Sikoa is in the ring and demands Roman Reigns to acknowledge him. And Roman Reigns hits the ring, beats Solo and Tama Tonga up, and gets his lay back when Jacob Fatu, wearing a walking boot, attacks and destroys Roman Reigns, leaving him motionless. Roman is powerbombed through the table. Solo wears the lay to close the show, and that's the SmackDown review. A lot of stuff happened, huh?
Yeah, it was a packed episode. I don't even know. I mean, let's get into it, man. The Roman Reigns stuff. I know you you made a video on TikTok saying that you kind of enjoyed it, but I didn't. I didn't like it. I didn't. I don't know. I feel like this was the week we should have gotten a promo from him.
I said that. Yeah. 100%.
And then the first like 7 or 8 minutes was the exact same thing as what happened the week before. You know, Solo Sikoa is in the ring. He calls out Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes out. He beats them down. He grabs the Ula Fala and is hanging on to it. He's about to get his magical powers. And then then the only thing that was different was Jacob Fatu came out and beat him down and ended it. But I don't know. I didn't like the beatdown. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just it felt very tame. It felt like, okay, like they put him through a table, and like I've seen Jacob Fatu beat up the entire tag team division by himself. And that looked a lot worse than what he did to Roman Reigns. I've seen like what I wanted, what I think they should have done was do kind of what Bronson Reed has been doing on Raw. Do that to Roman Reigns. And then you establish a new he really established his bloodline as true dominant. But all they did was triple powerbomb him through a table. And Randy Orton went through a table a couple of weeks ago, and he was back to work 2 weeks later. Like I've seen people go through tables in the middle of matches and kick out. I've seen people go through tables in the middle of, have tables go through multiple tables and no sell it, completely get up and walk away from it. So I don't know. It was I just felt that this segment, like the beatdown to me, was just pretty tame.
Okay. I gotta disagree a little bit, only because I thought Jacob Fatu put a pretty good beat down on him, and I think he couldn't do it as well because he had a darn walking boot on. This dude just beat up possibly the GOAT, the greatest of all time, with a walking boot on. That had to make him a little vicious, and I thought it kind of gave a new edge to our theory of what we're going to say. Do I think Fatu was a little early? I do, but maybe they just don't know where they're going right now and can't just have Roman defeat the Bloodline every single week until it happens. So I think they had him come back, and now Roman's going to miss TV probably for a few weeks. But I thought this made I
was just going to say, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But I was just confused on the fact that, like, I mean, if he is going to take some time off, then we're never going to find out what the heck happened. Like, I mean, we will when Paul Heyman returns or when Jimmy Uso returns, but I still wanted, even though I love the segment and I thought Jacob Fatu looked like a freaking star, was the fact that I still, like, how did he get the lay? Why didn't he come back when Paul got beat up? What has he been doing with Jimmy not around? Why did it take him so long? Solo's been calling himself the tribal chief for months now. Why were you not here before? Like, why now? Why? And we didn't get any of that, and we won't. We might when Paul Heyman comes around. Paul Heyman might. I'm hearing rumblings that people think Roman can't cut a babyface promo, and so they don't want him to talk because they don't think he can do it because he can only cut the tribal chief promo. All sorts of malarkey. I don't know. But other than that, I thought this was a star-making moment. And I do want to say, too, I'm sick of people dogging on Solo. I see all over TikTok that are like, this is making Solo look weak. This is Solo Sikoa is now Roman Reigns, and Jacob Fatu is now Solo Sikoa. That's all it is. When Solo was that person, he was beating everybody up for Roman. People were afraid because of Solo, and Solo helped him win every single match. Roman would get beat up, throw it out of the ring, and come in Solo. He would spike him, put him down. Roman would come back in and finish him off. It's exactly rinse and repeat. I don't know why these WWE fans have memories of 10 seconds, but this was literally, they're just putting, now is Jacob Fatu a little bit more vicious? Yes. But it's the same damn thing. It's the same. Like, Roman wasn't beating people up beforehand. So let's stop pretending like you know what I mean? Like, Solo's weak now because when you're the leader of a heel faction, that's what you do. Your people beat you up for you. That's how it always has been, way before Diesel and Shawn Michaels. Like, that's how it's always been. The person under you does all the work. You're the chicken shit heel bad guy leader. That's just what it is.
I do wish that Solo would have been I know he led the triple power bomb, and I know that was kind of a ode to the Shield, if you will, but
is it still now? I feel like everyone does it now.
I don't know. It felt like anytime Roman gets triple power bombed, I'm like, okay, like this feels like he was like a shot at the Shield or something. But like, I do wish that Solo, I don't think it's making him look weak, but I do wish that he would have asserted his dominance a little bit more. Because if the rumors are true that they're worried about Jacob Fatu overshadowing Solo Sikoa because he's the bigger star, he's the fans are more scared and like legitimately like they enjoy Jacob more than they enjoy Solo, then I feel like the WWE is doing just that. They're overshadowing Solo. So I wish that he would have gotten a couple of Samoan spikes in on Roman Reigns and then they put him through the table or something.
I agree with that.
Lines. I think that would have made it feel a little bit more vicious. And then like, and Roman, like I love the man to death and I'm glad that he's back, but like his face when he was selling, I was like, okay, this is a little like he's overdoing it a little. For me.
I loved it.
I mean, it was funny.
Loved it.
It was
he
funny,
was like,
it was funny, but I was just also like, this feels like a little like this is going to be, it's meme worthy. Yes. And it's going to be all over social media the next day, but it also was, I don't know. It just, I don't know, like if he was doing it intentionally, if he was trying to, I don't know what was going on.
He was getting the snot beat out of him like it never been beat out of him before. His daddy didn't beat him that bad. He was like, He was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
he
mean, it
was in
was
another universe. And rest in peace to his dad. I didn't mean that in that way.
Oh yeah, no,
But keep going.
absolutely. But no, other than that, it was an okay segment. I just, like you said, I wish that he would have talked. And then
Mhm.
we don't have to have Solo introduce Roman Reigns every single week. Like we can,
Yeah.
when he came out to the ring again, and it was like 9:52 p.m. I'm like, great, this is gonna be exactly like last week. Roman's gonna come out and beat him, and for a little while it was. But yeah, I
Mhm.
wish that he would have talked. And now that if he is off SmackDown tomorrow, and now there's rumors that he's gonna be off multiple weeks, then like when are we ever going to hear from him? And like and by that point, is it too late to hear from Roman Reigns? Like, hey, I've been gone for 6 months, but I know I've been back for 2 weeks, but hey, here's what happened while I was gone. Like, do we care
Mhm.
after that point? I don't know. I felt like last week or this week were the times to really, really shine and talk about that.
And if he's going to be gone, then Solo needs to start beating some people, like legit people. He needs to start building up that resume. Also, I didn't like that he said whoever has the lay is a tribal chief. Like,
Yeah, that was
don't
weird too.
don't leave it in your duffel bag and not pay attention because Roman could just go snag it up, or maybe Austin
Yeah,
Theory will put it on.
I didn't
I don't.
understand that. So, but he also said that, and I like if Roman gets this, he'll be the tribal chief, and I will acknowledge him.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, okay, and that was like the end of the segment. I was like,
Mhm.
is there supposed to be more to this? Like, is that like,
Yeah. Yeah.
is Roman gonna get the Ulafala and go back to
That's what. Yeah.
like
Then he's a bad guy again. He's like,
pretend like nothing ever happened? Hey man, what's up? Long time no see. Oh, who's this? Jake? Oh, hey Jake. Yeah,
Jake from State Farm. He'll put that thing on and do that face again.
yeah. I
Love
know,
it. All right.
but
What else do you want to talk about in this episode?
can we talk? I want to talk about
Do
something.
it.
And
Let's. Uh
how
oh. He's
how
dogging
bad
everything.
how bad does Triple H hate Johnny Gargano and Ciampa? Because like everyone was talking about like when Johnny Gargano came back that he was gonna Triple H loves him and he
That's his boy. Yeah.
that's his boy. He's one of the greats from NXT Black and Gold. He was the face of NXT, and Ciampa was the longest reigning NXT champion of all time, and he's one of the greats, and he's gonna do great on the main roster. And yet they lose their tag team titles a week after winning.
Are you back? We lost Ryan. We'll see when he gets back once we hear him again. But he was talking about his love for Ciampa and Gargano. Mute.
Here,
Now it's Triple H. There he is.
yeah. So Johnny Gargano, he came back and he came back and lost a bunch of matches, and then he with Ciampa, and they win the tag team titles, and then they lose them a week later, and then not only they lose them in their hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, on the go home show, not even at SummerSlam, but on the go home show of SummerSlam to the Bloodline. They don't get an instant rematch, and then instead they have to go through a tag team battle royal, or not a battle royal, but like a gauntlet thing, and they lose to the Street Profits, who have been losing every single match that they've been in up until all of a sudden, and now the Street Profits get to wrestle the Bloodline in the rematch. And don't get me wrong, it was a great match, and it was really enjoyable, fun. All four guys showed out, and they're two of the best tag teams in the industry. But I'm just like, what is going on with DIY?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And not only that, you even forgot to talk about when Ciampa came over. This dude was, in my opinion, to this day, the greatest NXT world champion of all time. And
Big time.
he was probably top 5 heels in the WWE when he was the heel and he had Goldie. And this dude is so sadistic and gross and amazing on what he does. And he comes over and gets paired up with the Miz and becomes the Miz's like body twin double guy for a while.
Yeah.
And they're tagging, he's dressing like the Miz and he's like dancing like and then they kind of like had him disappear and he lost to like random people. Then he disappeared and then he came back with Gargano and then he's kind of back but not really.
He disappeared again. He was missing.
Yeah, and unless Triple H is just that dude, he don't mix business and pleasure, and he's like, yeah, like I like these guys and they're dope, but they ain't doing it. But he's got other people not doing it too right now that we can talk about, and they're getting airtime. So I don't know. I've wondered the same thing because he even called them DX. They even have a gimmick where our truth is like calling them DX. So obviously you have some kind of like with them if you're okay with that.
Yeah,
sad stuff.
Yeah, the only thing I like about DIY right now is I don't know if you've seen videos that they put together that they shoot on Johnny Gargano's phone of Ciampa trying to RKO Randy Orton backstage. Oh,
I heard about that.
Yeah, you should check them out. They are hysterical. They're so fun because like Ciampa's like Randy Orton will be like over here stretching, and Ciampa's like running over him. He's like and he tries to arc, and like Randy moves at the last minute, and he like falls. And
so it's like all planned. It's all like rigged.
It's all completely like
That's funny.
Yeah. But it's good
funny.
stuff. And so they're entertaining. They're clearly like they're but I don't know what it is when they're on TV. They just lose all the time.
I mean, shoot, you can be like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory and lose all the time, but now be bickering with the world champion. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, right? They came out to jump and Cody Rhodes made the save. So we're going to get Grayson Waller and Austin Theory against, KO and Cody. I don't, what's Cody doing, by the way? You want to talk about loss?
Yeah.
Guy's a world champion. What did he do on SmackDown? He saved his competitor, his competition at Bash in Berlin. That's what he did. Cool beans.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, how do you promote his match against Cody Rhodes? By yelling at Grayson Waller and Austin Theory backstage. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that match. It's going to be a banger. I can't wait. One more week to go. Thank you, Cody Rhodes. Do you want to talk about Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and all that, or you want to move on to Raw?
No, yeah. I mean, briefly, that segment to me was just kind of. I was like, all right, this is a little too much, and I thought it dragged on a little too long. But I will say this, Nia, man, she looked great. Like she looked fantastic in that white outfit, and I was just like, this is. And then Tiffany Stratton looked great as well. But yeah, like we're first feud is Mia Yim. Mitchin. Sorry, I always do that. I feel. Oh,
I still think Daniel Bryan. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, Mitchin is her first opponent. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just can't. I can't get excited for this.
Hey, just like Mitchin's one boob, where did she come from? I have no idea.
Exactly.
I get that they were like bickering and stuff, but all of a sudden now Mitchin's like, my titty's out, and then they're like, title shot, and she's like, cool.
Yeah.
What happened? How did her titty fall out? By the way, she didn't even get touched. She came in, her shirt's covered. Next thing you know, her one boobie's just like, hey, it was nice. I ain't complaining. Mitchin got a nice boob, but like it was just very rare. She's just like beating people up with her, and she knew because she was like, whoops, my bad. But yeah. Good. I don't know. And I do like that. I mean, obviously, this is just build. They got to do something until Tiffany Stratton comes around. I don't know what the heck they're doing with Pretty Deadly. Why are they involved?
Yeah, Pretty Deadly, the musical.
Like, yeah, I don't get why they're...
tag team division's already like lackluster, and yet you're making them a bigger joke than before. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. All right, let's get into Raw. A lot of good stuff on Monday Night Raw. You ready? Sure. And a lot of stuff people didn't like. So let's see. All right. Randy Orton starts the show and he'll beat Gunther. Out comes Gunther and he'll beat Randy. Ludwig Kaiser jumps Randy from behind. Sheamus defeats Pete Dunne. Go Pete Dunne. I'm sure he'll win the next night. Kofi and Xavier talk about New Day and Odyssey Jones. And they seem to be kind of good now. Maybe. I don't know. I think. Chad Gable welcomes Ivy Nile to the crew and says they still want the Wyatt Six. Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile end in a no contest when the Wyatt Six appear, and Uncle Howdy gives Chad Gable the Sister Abigail. They'll face next week. Priest and Ripley will destroy the Judgment Day. CM Punk out for a promo, and he calls himself the Taylor Swift for men. No lie, ladies and gentlemen. Out comes Drew McIntyre, and they'll have a strap match. And if Punk wins, he gets his bracelet back, I guess. I fell asleep halfway through this segment. Daddy Dom versus Priest tonight. The New Day defeat the Final Testament. Miz is ready to fight Bronson for his friend. Pretty good promo. He loses that match. After the match, Braun Strowman makes the save. Yay. Braun Breaker, not to be confused with Bronson Reed or Braun Strowman. Yeah. Braun Breaker brags about being smart, so I guess he's not related to Big Papa Pump. The Judgment Day destroy Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley and leave them motionless, just like Roman Reigns. Liv Morgan says Rhea will be her bitch. Dawn and Fire defend their titles against Pure Fusion Collective and Damage Control. Jey Uso will be in the IC title shot tournament. Cool. Pat McAfee is leaving WWE again for NCAA, and Randy Orton defeats Ludwig Kaiser in the main event after a Gunther and Randy brawl to close the show. And that's the Monday Night Raw review, homie. Yeah.
Oh man, where do we begin here? Let's talk to CM Punk, because I'm telling you, man, I've been saying it for a while now. CM Punk has lost it on the microphone. He has lost a step, and he's not the same guy that he was back in 2011. Even his AEW promos were better than what he's been doing since he's been back in WWE in 2023. So yeah, calling himself the Taylor Swift of men, and yeah, it was just this segment just fell flat for me. And then him talking about the strap match and what it means to him, and touching all 4 of the turnbuckles, and even the crowd was just like the very last. Like at first, Drew McIntyre came out and he was getting a good crowd reaction. CM Punk was getting a decent crowd reaction, and then CM Punk was like, he ended it with, it's not you, it's not me that's connected to you, it's you that's connected to me. And that's what the crowd sounded like. And then they did his music, and it was just, that was it. I was like, huh? Like, I don't know. The segment was just, it was just me. It was very mediocre, and they're still fighting over the bracelet. I thought Punk said he didn't care about the bracelet anymore. I don't understand what's going on.
He said the bracelet means nothing to him. It's a 10-cent bracelet, and he doesn't care. It's because Drew McIntyre keeps talking about his family. Then he's like, I win the strap match, I get that back. And Drew was like, no, you don't. And then he's like, I don't know. Do you not? It was the whole thing was a miss. Drew was a miss too. They were all a miss. It was just a hot miss. And it was too bad too, because Drew just did like a fake coming out of CM Punk at the Fanatics thing. And it was super fire. And then we follow up with this. Here's the thing. Once again, I'm keep saying it. CM Punk was good when he was the anti-hero. He just came out. He was the underdog. But you know what? He didn't care about authority. That's what he cared about. Now he's a tough guy who could beat everybody up, and now included on that is that he's also the Taylor Swift for men, and he also does everything for the fans. I didn't know CM Punk did it for the fans. I didn't know that was he didn't want to make friends. Now he doesn't care about the fan. Yeah, go ahead. What?
Yeah, I was just saying, not to bring up AEW, but everything MJF said in their feud when they were in AEW is exactly what CM Punk is doing right now.
100%.
He called him PG Punk in that whole entire feud, that entire build up. And then he was saying, like, you're just going to be very robotic. And he like, hi, I'm CM Punk. Boy, it's great to be back in insert town here. And then and then I'm going to do insert sports reference here. And that's exactly what CM Punk took time to talk about the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh my god. Yeah, why? He's a Blackhawks fan. Why would he?
Yeah, like, congratulations to your Florida Panthers, and like, give him.
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously? Like, what? Like, I don't know. He's just, and now he's like the typical baby face, and he needs to be like, he's lost his edge on the mic.
That's it. It's just the edge. Just what he talks about. It's not his promo ability. It's just
he's good at he's good at telling a story. It's just the cutting edge part that made him great is just not there right now.
And honestly, this whole Raw, even though I TikToked about it and I said it was necessary, because not everything has to be impactful, especially when you have one more week. You got to slow build. You can't just have everything be huge. But even Randy and Gunther felt flat. That opening promo this week was it wasn't good from either of them. It was weird. It was awkward. Then Kaiser comes back again. I'm like, what's going on? I know they're wrestling later, and then they wrestle later, and the match is fine. It is what it is. And then they just like brawl to close the show. I'm kind of like, this is what we had Randy leave his brand for to come over. I don't know. It was all, mix that in with Pete Dunne losing clean to Sheamus and then having to have a title eliminator match on NXT the next night, and they pretended like that never happened. It was, the whole episode was a little weird. It was just in the big moments, right? That's what I mean.
And last week I asked you about Bronson Reed. I was like, what's this leading to? What's it leading to? And because Seth Rollins is legitimately hurt, according to the report, so he's not going to be back for a while. And I was like, is this leading to the return of somebody? Is somebody going to come out? Is somebody going to, I was hoping it was going to be like I don't know who I was expecting, but it turns out it's Braun Strowman, and it's just
blood's on your hands, homie.
yeah. I'm like, oh, what are we? I don't know. Like now we're gonna get meat madness in WWE. Now we're two big men slapping, two meaty men slapping meat. With Braun.
You
Braun.
almost went the wrong way there.
Yeah.
He almost went a different route.
Oh yeah.
Slap, slap,
but,
city, slap, slap. Yeah.
Yeah, but and then like I would have been fine with the Braun Strowman return helping out the Miz. Like I was fine with it. And then they did the backstage thing where Braun Strowman's talking about, well, R-Truth called me, and you know, he was like you need to go against he I can't remember, he was confused. He confused me with the Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker. And then he said I had a match for the Intercontinental title, and I was like, here we go again. And the Miz was like, no, you had a match with Bronson Reed. Oh, okay, well, maybe I'll enter the Intercontinental title tournament. And that was like the end of the, and Miz was like, oh, maybe I'll enter it too. And there's I was fine with Braun Strowman coming back, I guess, but for that backstage segment, I was just like, okay, this now him coming back is freaking stupid.
It is. And I know they went with your route, and I'm not bitter, but they should have went my route, because him just squashing the Miz, which it looked like they were about to do, and having him be suspended would be a lot better with this route. Because now what is he going to do? Is he going to lose a Braun Strowman? I don't know. I don't care either way.
And again, what's it leading to? Like, what's going to happen after this feud? Is he going to go back down to mid card? When Seth Rollins comes back, is he just going to pretend like that beatdown never happened, and he's going to go after, like, I don't know. I don't get what they're doing with it.
Me neither. Do you get the white six?
Yeah, I didn't hate it this week. It was okay. I mean, they didn't do anything. There was no tape. There was no promo. I do like that Nikki Cross is getting a little bit more physical. Instead of just standing there staring at people. I like that she got involved with Ivy Nile, and I did enjoy that. And then, you know, Dexter Lumis, man, that man, he looks like $1 million with this new look that he has.
You like those dreadlocks, huh?
I do. I like the dreads. I like the look. He looks completely different than he did before. And but the one thing I don't like is Bo Dallas's mask, the Uncle Howdy mask. I feel like it changes every other week. Like this week, his hair was like super, super long. A couple weeks ago, like he's got like a really long beard. This week, it looked like a different mask this week. But but other than that, I didn't mind the white six.
I liked it a lot. I actually thought that was the mask that he's going to wrestle in. I remember during the documentary, and even before that Bray, there was rumors that it was hard for Bray to wrestle in the Fiend mask. And then when they made the Uncle Howdy mask, when it was first around, when Bray was still alive, they were like, how the heck are you going to wrestle in that? It's like a gigantic mask. So I think they talked about in the documentary, right, that they had to like form it more so he can wrestle in it. But I like that too, because I love Bo Dallas. I have a Bo Leaf shirt. I still rock it, but he's not intimidating. So him coming out without anything on, I just don't feel like it will work. I like that everybody else had their mask off. Obviously, I don't know what's going on with Nikki Cross, why she refuses to take it off, but I like that he kept it on, and that he probably will keep it on, and he'll wrestle with it on, because he's Uncle Howdy. He's not Bo Dallas. I like that he's the only one, kind of like when the other two wrestled, they were Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, but he's Uncle Howdy.
Even call her Bo Dallas.
They said Uncle Howdy. So I kind of like that, and I like that it's still not too supernatural. There's smoke, no biggie. They're coming out and doing their thing.
I just want to know, like, what is this leading to? Why again, we could talk about Roman Reigns and his promo and his, or lack thereof, about where he's been, why he came back, what he's been doing. Why are they going, like, and I shouldn't have to go on Twitter, and I shouldn't have to go on, click a bunch of links and scan some QR codes to figure out why they're doing this. But why are they going after Chad Gable in his group? And who are they going to go target next? Or is this going to lead to title matches? Please, there's only certain people that they can fight if they're not going after any championship. So what is this leading to? But right now I'm kind of digging it. I hate it for Chad Gable though, because like in America, what is that? American Made is their new tag team.
American Made,
because they're just going to lose all it. Like they're going to lose to the Wyatt Six. It's like, is this really an upgrade from the Alpha Academy, or is this kind of the Alpha Academy 2.0? So
yes, it is. And speaking of, let's talk about the Judgment Day 3.0. What'd you think of them, man?
They are killing it. I mean, usually when factions change, I don't like it. Like the new Nexus with CM Punk and which had Bray Wyatt in it, by the way, but it's Husky Harris. But yeah, this was everything they're doing is fantastic. Even the Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest stuff is great with their backstage stuff. Liv Morgan's getting some shine. Finn Balor's getting some. Everybody's getting shine. That's the thing I like about it. Dominic Mysterio's looking like $1 million. Carlito had some lines. JD McDonough's being taken a little bit more seriously. So yeah, I'm digging everything that they're doing with the Judgment Day.
I know they're not winning, but they're not losing, and they're looking dominant because they're putting beatdowns. Now, we all know they're probably going to lose at Bash in Berlin, but at least they can recover from that. They're just looking good. I would like to see them branch off and be who they are, because if they're just a bunch of heels like that, chicken shit heels who aren't afraid to attack in a pack like some, hyenas from the Lion King, I'm all for it. I like it. And I like that they do the beatdowns and then do their promos backstage. Those shots are awesome. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, good.
Dom's got his arm around Liv. Carlito's sitting there with his apple. It's good. They're all doing. JD McDonough feels like he did in NXT, like an important person, not some joke. They look pretty BA, man. I'm all in on this Judgment Day, and I've been posting on TikToks about it, and I keep getting grief that it's like, I don't know why you like them. They're so stupid. They're wimpy and bloop and blop and bleeps and this, but I think they're dope. And I think this is how they always should have been. And even though they might have been bigger with Rhea and Priest and they won titles and stuff, they never felt as badass as they do now. They finally feel badass. Even with Edge, this is like the most badass they felt.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I like everything that they've been doing with this group, and I don't want them to lose. I think they should beat Damian and Rhea. I don't think they will, but I think they should. And then what happens to Damian and Rhea after this too? Do they go their separate ways? Does Rhea go after Liv solo? Does Damian go after Finn solo? I don't know. But there's a lot of different angles that they can go, because Finn, Damian has problems with everybody. He has problems with Dom. He has problems with Liv. He has problems with Finn. He has problems with JD. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. See where it goes.
That's my only thing before we move on to NXT that I don't like, is that he got turned on by, like, Dom literally did nothing to Priest, but he's going after him, and he hasn't targeted Finn Balor at all.
Yeah.
But Finn keeps targeting him. Finn keeps beating him down, but he's like, not like, I want Finn. He's like, all right, Terra Twins, since you're dating,
that's why
wrestle. I do think it's a little like, why not Finn and Liv versus Rhea?
It should be.
Like, why does it have to?
It should be Finn and Liv with Dominic in their corner, versus Rhea and because they're the ones that got turned on. So
yeah, Dom didn't do anything to Finn. All he did was stay in Judgment Day. He literally did nothing. Didn't touch him. Hasn't done anything. Yeah, at all. All right, you ready for NXT? It's a jam-packed NXT too.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we open up with Izzy Dame attacking Carmen Petrovic in the parking lot. Chase U out to celebrate their championship with Axiom and Frazier. I don't know why I said it like that. Come out to say that they want another shot, so they will face Riley and Duke to earn that shot, and they do. They win. Brindley Reese takes Carmen's spot in the gauntlet later on tonight. Wendy Chu defeats Lola Vice. After the match, Kalani Jordan challenges Chu and then hits her with a pillowcase. Wesley doesn't like Joe Hendry, who does, and Joe Hendry says this possible title shot is bigger than him headlining a TNA pay-per-view. His words, not mine. Fallon Henley and JC Jane are now called Fatal Influence. Jade Parker wins the gauntlet match. Cool. To earn a shot at the title held by Roxanne Perez. Hank and Tank defeat the OC in about 4 minutes. Womp womp. Enofe, Blade, Sean Spears, and Jensen all brawl in the dark, I think. I don't know. They're fighting, and then the lights go out, and people were dying. Weird stuff. No Quarter Catch crew out for a chat. Then out comes Obafemi to Braga, and then out comes Tony D to say he's moved on from the cup, and he's ready for Oba. Tony D gives Obafemi a spine buster and lays him out. Gallus and Javon Evans almost brawl. Ashanti the Adonis defeats Dion Lennox. Lexus King flirts with the Meta 2. I don't know what that segment was about. In the main event, Joe Hendry, who Ryan believes in, defeats Wesley and Pete Dunne to become the #1 contender for Ethan Page after Zachary Wentz attacks Wesley to close the show. And that's the NXT review.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start with, huh? Who you believe
So
in or somewhere else? Let's hear it.
this TNA partnership, huh? So, him winning a NXT championship is bigger than any TNA pay-per-view, huh? Okay.
He
Yeah.
didn't say those words, but that's what he said, right? He said, this
Pretty
is going
much.
to be the biggest moment of my career. Bro,
Yeah.
you just headlined a TNA pay-per-view like
You
a
headlined
week ago.
Slammiversary. You came this close to winning the title.
Uh-huh.
You eliminated the champion in that pay-per-view. And then instead, this is why I didn't like that segment from a few weeks ago where he was doing the concert at Great American Bash because that was like the week after Slammiversary. And the week after he does that, he comes out after like Josh Alexander turns on him. He comes out singing songs and like, hey, I'm Booker T's in my fan club. Like, it's just singing songs and it's happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Like, you have no emotions about what happened? That's why I don't like these two separate universes thing that they do. But no surprise Joe Hendry won that match. We all predicted it. I mean, we knew it was gonna happen. And yeah, I feel like Joe Hendry has replaced Trick Williams as the guy on NXT right now, and he doesn't even work for the company. And Trick Williams wasn't even on NXT this week.
No, and they made him look super hella like he got cheated out 7 times and still won. And I know Trick ended up coming to help, but still, this guy was like defeating all the odds, all for him to. I still don't get it. I still don't believe. I only believe. I don't believe. His look, his dumb grin when he comes out, his wrestling ability, I don't get it. But we knew Pete Dunne's in a feud with everybody, and so is Wesley. So I knew it wasn't gonna. I do like the new Wesley attitude, though. I like him as a heel. He's doing it pretty well. I think it's better than he was as a babyface. So
I did like. I like that he didn't get pinned, because that was my other thing. Like, you just had Wesley turn heel a couple weeks ago in his first match after the heel turn. He's in the world title #1 contendership match against which would be against another heel, and you're like, Joe Hendry's winning. So what are you doing with Wesley? But so I did like the attack of Zachary Wentz after the show. I did enjoy that. That was fun. Because they played the logo again, so I was like, "Oh, I'm going to turn this off now. We're almost done." And boom, out he came out, and that I'm excited about. I feel like they've done that part right with the NXT stuff.
Yeah, I'm going with TNA.
TNA, yeah.
What was I going to say?
I forgot Trick I said Trick wasn't on the show, but I forgot he came out in the main event.
He was. Yeah, he's the one that helped. Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Remember, Pete Dunne's still going to lose a Trick Williams. He just lost a Sheamus, but he has one more to lose to.
Gotta do all 3. You got to hit the trifecta.
Right? What about Jada Parker winning the match, the gauntlet match? You like it? You don't like it? Are you here for it?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think she's a good adversary. She's gotten. I do like Jada Parker. I think she's good. I still love Roxanne. I like Jada Parker. I love Roxanne Perez. So I don't think right now anybody's on her level in NXT, and that includes Jada.
Yeah, no,
I still think it should have been Lola Vice, but
Lola Vice or Sol Ruka?
Or Sol Ruka. Sorry, Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
It should have been Sol Ruka. She's ready. I feel like she's that girl. She's super over. The crowd loves her. But
I'll talk about that later. Yeah, that's just bothered me. I want to talk about really quick Wendy Chu. Like, I have nothing against Wendy Chu. I didn't dig her beforehand when all she did was go from a sleepy dreamer to a sleepy nightmare person. All they did was just like change his ring gear to dark colors. But what are we doing here? Is this really? I mean, I know this title is a secondary title, but I don't know. She just beat Lola Vice pretty clean. I know she hit her with the pillowcase, but nonetheless, like, what are pillowcase with a belt in it that the announcer who was with Booker T thought it was a real pillow? And those announcers, we got to stop with them. They're both like, they both play dumb characters and then both counter each other when the other one's being dumb. I don't know, but I'm just not feeling Wendy Chu. I don't get it. She's like Nikki Cross, or she's like, one of these I don't know. Like she's playing the same character. Like she can fit right into the Wyatt Six right now, right? I know she's supposed to be like a nightmarish character, but I don't get it. I don't think it's working for me whatsoever.
Yeah. I don't understand this, and yeah, I'm not feeling this Wendy Chu stuff either. And then you know, yeah, I hope this is a quick win for Kalani Jordan at
Hmm.
No Mercy and Wendy Chu. It's not that Wendy Chu's bad. I just don't think she's ready
No.
for this type
Yeah.
of match, this type of feud. So
Hmm.
maybe have her compete for like the tag team championships or something, or
Hmm.
something along those lines to keep her on TV, or just do some side stuff until she can. But maybe this will help her turn over a new leaf and find her character. Because right now, I just think I don't get it either. I just it's missing something for me.
Well, and if you're gonna have her play this like weird, scary, like right, they're all scared of her because she just sits there and stares at them. I'm gonna kill you. Then why
Yeah,
did she have to cheat to win? Why did she have to use the pillowcase
yeah, I don't
belt
get
to
that.
win? Like she should just be able to win clean. But I don't know. I don't know. Anything else you want to hit up?
Final the Yeah, let's. One thing is, what is going on with these names in WWE? You have the No Quarter Catch Crew, which
Uh-huh.
that's a mouthful. You have the
It
Fatal
is.
Influence in NXT. Then you have the I can't the new faction in WWE, the women's faction on the main roster.
Oh
The
gosh, yeah.
the Fatal Collection Crew. I don't even like the
I
Fatal
have it written
Attraction.
down. I forgot. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're incorporated.
yeah,
They lost. Were they on Raw? No, they
yeah.
were
They were
on.
on Raw.
Were they
Um,
Pure Fusion
Fusion
Collective?
Collection. Collective.
Collective. That
Yeah.
someone said was a great name. It's not. Yeah,
No, like where are they coming up with it? Like are they just
I don't
is it
know.
like in Miss Doubtfire when Sally Field's character is like, "What's your name?" and he's like reading a headline. He's like, "Police Doubtfire was caused by husband," and so he's like, "Doubtfire." Is that
Right.
what
That's what.
they're coming up with?
I,
They're reading headlines and news articles to find like these names. Yeah,
I thought they were
that,
just pulling random words out of a hat, and the first
it
two or
must
three they
be
pull, they like go with. Yeah,
playing
they're pretty
a game
bad.
of they're playing Mad Libs back there.
There
Okay,
you go.
give me a noun, give me a verb, give me an adjective. Yeah.
Well, fatal influence isn't. That sounds exactly like toxic attraction.
Yeah, it really
Fatal,
does.
toxic,
And one
influence,
of them was in
attraction. That's why I said
I
JC
know.
Jane. Yeah, I'm waiting for Gigi Dolan to come back. Or did she get fired? Whatever happened to her?
I think she's hurt. I think she got hurt.
Hmm. So when
Um,
she comes back and joins Fallon Henley and JC Jane, it should be a
can we
good
bring
time.
we need Mandy Rose back too. I think
Bro, I don't think she,
yeah.
when you see her nowadays, she's like this. Woo,
Yeah, she doesn't need
I
wrestling.
don't know how she got
Wrestling needs
hotter.
her. She doesn't need wrestling.
Uh-huh. I need
But
her. Yes, sir. All right. You ready? That was the week. WWE.
yeah.
Weird
No,
week, good week, bad week, weird week. Like I said, we're
odd
building.
week. Yeah. Very
Everybody
odd.
has a pay-per-view next week. I feel like starting Friday, then Raw and NXT will be pretty good building into the Bash in Berlin. A pay-per-view I don't really give two rats about. But it is
Not
time
yet.
for our, right? I don't really, what am I watching for? But we got highs and lows, and we got a song for it if you didn't know. So let's kick it, y'all.
Gotta find it.
Oh, he's got to find it.
Where to go? Where to go?
Gotta
I
catch
had it.
him
I had it. Here we go. Ready?
Highs and
Yes, sir.
lows, let's go. This is highs and lows, it's time for the list. Who's killing it and who should probably go and sit? You're the best getting listed up high as hell. It's for the lows, they can come up here and take a L. Yes, they got their fingers on the button, yeah. Never sweat the mid, just the best and who run it. I'ma let them chill, let them run through the list of names. This is highs and lows, go ahead and do your thing.
All right, highs and lows. So we're going to name our two highs and our two lows for the week of pro wrestling. It could be a wrestler, it could be a segment, it could be a faction, it could be a decision making, it could be an awesome name. It could be whatever our heart desires. As always, we start with Brian. Let's go.
Oh, all right. So we'll start with my high. I'm gonna say one of my highs is Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston's storyline. Like,
Oh.
I know it's not like a main championship type story. It's a kind of a side story,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm actually enjoying it. Like I'm really curious. Like it has piqued my interest to see if Xavier Woods is going to turn or if Kofi Kingston's going to turn. Kofi, this week, Xavier Woods was a little PO'd about the tag with when Kofi when Xavier had his hand out and Kofi's I don't know, intentionally. I'm going to say it was intentional.
Okay.
He intentionally tagged in Odyssey Jones instead of Xavier Woods, and Odyssey Jones then finished the match and got the pin. Yeah, I'm really, I mean, like, this story has piqued my interest. I could do without the Karrion Kross stuff. I could do without them, the Final Testament losing all the time. And like, how many times are we going to get this match between the New Day and the Final Testament? I feel like they've been feuding for the last like 7 months now, but I am digging the story, like the actual story between Kofi and Xavier. And I feel like when it does happen, it's going to be a huge deal. Whoever turns, it's going to be treated like a big deal. And I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is actually pretty intriguing. Although after watching this week, I think you might be wrong, but we'll get there.
I think I'm righter than ever before.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think you're wrong, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Kofi Kingston, that was a heel move, man. He intentionally did not tag his partner in. He looked right at him and went, psych, go get Odyssey Jones.
It's in the eye of the beholder, man. You're always going to see things however you want to see it. It's like I was telling you, I just watched that Scott Peterson, Lacey Peterson thing. If you're for Scott Peterson, all the evidence either looks awful or 100% for him. And then the opposite way, it looks the whole other way. It's all in the perception. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
but I was watching it like, ooh, it looks like, Xavier's getting angry.
But it was the conversation backstage that had me where Xavier was like, "Hey, did you bring him in to replace Big E?" Like, you don't have those kinds
that up.
Yeah, I am too. But no, they didn't. They brought him in to replace you, Xavier, because Kofi Kingston is a heel.
Oh, yeah. And Big E. Big E's gonna come back and do that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. My first high of the week is gonna surprise you. I'm gonna go with the promise of Tony D versus Oba.
I like that.
Yeah. I am all in on Tony D. I have been since day one. Tony D'Angelo was fire. He's got a great look. He's awesome in the ring. And Oba Femi, who I wasn't a believer in, who I thought he got the title too quickly, has turned me around. I've said that for multiple weeks now, how good he's looked, how good his matches have been. He's getting better on the mic. He just needed that work. And I can see Tony D beating him. I'm not saying he's going to, but if someone's going to beat Oba Femi, he's been the champ for a while. Maybe he's ready to move on to the bigger picture and get into the title contention soon. But Tony D versus Oba Femi has me all in my feelings. I love Tony D. I thought he shouldn't have been having that stupid cup. It didn't fit his persona at all. Fits Charlie Dempsey better. But yeah, Tony D, Oba Femi, sign me up. No Mercy, another NXT episode. Wait till WrestleMania season. I can give two rats. But watching Tony D spinebuster Oba Femi was pretty surreal, man. It wasn't Lex Luger and Yokozuna, but dude, it was pretty cool to see him like lift that big dude up and spinebuster him with ease. It was nice.
Yeah, he's the perfect opponent for Oba right now. If you're not going to bring in like another big guy or somebody from the main roster, Tony D is the perfect guy. And I am glad, like you said, that he's done with the Heritage Cup. That just didn't fit him. It just didn't fit his character, his personality. He's a mob guy carrying around a trophy. Hey, put the trophy in no, that's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
So I am happy to see that he's getting, and I hope I could see him winning the North American Championship and maybe dumping the family and kind of doing things on his own. I don't know, but he's definitely a good opponent.
Yeah, he deserves a singles run, not the cup. That don't count.
Yeah, no, not at all.
All right, what's your second high, homie?
Oh, so I'm gonna say that I think this is good for wrestling all around, but NXT moving out of the Performance Center and touring. So NXT effective, we didn't really talk about this when we did our news a couple weeks ago, but starting October 1st, NXT is moving to the CW network. So they're moving off of USA and moving to the CW, and they're going to they're going to start touring. They're getting out of the Performance Center and they're going to go. Their first show on October 1st is going to be in Chicago. So CM Punk's going to be on the show. And then the next week they're going to be in St. Louis, which is home of Randy Orton, and Randy Orton's going to be on the show. So I think this is huge for NXT to get out of the Performance Center and really kind of showcase their talent to people all around, not just the United States, but the world. And kind of see how good these guys are, and gives people an opportunity that don't necessarily live in Florida to get get to see their
Mhm.
favorite NXT superstars. So I really hope they don't try to do like the big time arenas like the WWE, like the main roster. Like I don't think NXT can sell out Madison Square Garden. I think they need to focus on like, the smaller venues. Maybe they could, but I think it's good for them to.
Yeah.
I think it's good for them to get out of the performance center and tour. So I'm super high on that, and I think it's a good thing for wrestling because that's right around the time of AEW's 5-year anniversary show of Dynamite. So they're going to put on a solid show, and hopefully it kind of gets back to what things were when things were back in 2019 when NXT was killing it on Tuesday nights with the black and gold era, and AEW was at its best with their stuff, and they were kind of trying to outdo each other in the rankings, so in the ratings rather. So I'm not saying AEW is going to do that, but they do have their 5-year anniversary coming up, and so I think it's good for them to step their game up, and I think this is going to help them do that, so it's good for wrestling in general.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, WrestleMania weekend, they sold out the Staples Center. So I mean, I don't see how much bigger Madison is than that. But and that was like my favorite
every
event
week
of that weekend.
Every week.
Yeah, every week would be hard. But that was my favorite night of the weekend was that match at the NXT. Started off our WrestleMania day one pretty off to a good start.
It was a lot of fun.
We were close. Yeah, I was Dexter Loomis putting his head up his girl's crotch to help her win the title. But yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Very positive, very, very good of you. I appreciate that.
That's what I do.
Plus.
That's what I do.
That's what I do. I'm gonna go different. I have a few, but I think I'm gonna save some for our next segment. So I'm gonna go Nia Jax. I gotta say, not only did you, like you said, she looks stunning, and she always has been, but now they're starting to present her that way. Yes, people, don't matter what size, color, no matter what you are, you could be gorgeous. And she was looking good. I like that they had the 4 guys carry her, wink, wink, because I don't think she was technically carried. I think it was like on wheels. But either way, she got carried in like royalty. The way she presented herself, she felt like a big deal. And I like how she wasn't afraid to tell Tiffany Stratton, you're going to bow down too, girl. You bowing down also, everybody. And although it got cut off because Mitchen's boob decided to attack everybody, it was still a good, just Nia Jax. When you just think about her, man, like when she came back to the Rumble randomly and she got booed out and the internet hated her, and then Trips brought her back almost a year later and the internet was like, oh, she's going to kill people. All she does is injure people. And she's done nothing but shine. And now she's the champ. And she's already better than Bayley was. And Bayley's a Hall of Famer. And she's not doing much worse than Liv Morgan. She doesn't have as big as a storyline, but I like her and Stratton stuff. I know Mitchen's not the best opponent for her, as Mitchen was just wrestling on NXT. Got to beat somebody, man. When you win the title, you got to get a few out of your way. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Gunther's doing right now with Randy Orton. Got to wrestle some people just to beat them. So, yeah. So, I'm all for it. I think Nia Jax is a star, and she's showing it. Looking good. Looking good.
Yeah. No, that's a good high. And she did look fantastic. And, I say it every week, but everybody owes Nia Jax a big old apology for when she came back to where she is now. Yeah, she's killing it.
Bow down and apologize. All right, lows time. We got to get through these. What's your first low? Let's go.
So my 2 lows are going to be women's related, and I hate to say that, but my first one is Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. What are we doing with these two? I mean, they went from.
What about Naomi too? She was there.
We can. And Naomi loses all the time too.
But to Blair Davenport. Continue.
But like at least Naomi's getting a chance to wrestle. I feel like Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are just backstage hype women now instead of actually being in the ring all the time. And like this week they're flirting with Carmelo Hayes, and Carmelo Hayes is like, at least they're watching my matches. Like, what are we doing? Like you had Jade Cargill come, like you had all this hype around her signing, and we were super pumped about it. She debuted at the Rumble. She looked fantastic at the Rumble. She was, they were booking her like the star that she should have been treated like she was in AEW, like she should have been in AEW. They fumbled the ball, and then Triple H and Shawn Michaels are getting behind her, and here she is. But now, like, what are we like? They lost the tag team championships in a weird way. They haven't really done anything since, and now they're just haven't done anything at all. And now they're just backstage hype women for Naomi, and that's it. And then Naomi goes out there and loses all the time. But Bianca Belair was the face of the women's division for a while. She was the face of NXT. She was the face of Monday Night Raw. She was, women's champion for so long. And Jade Cargill came in with such buzz around her. And now they're just like, I don't understand what they're doing with them.
They got the Jey Uso treatment where they're stars, but they're not going to wrestle. They're just going to be backstage randomly all the time. Also, I defended Triple H quite a while ago when people were like clowning him, calling him a racist because he was pairing all the same like races together, right? It was like all the black people are together, all the Mexicans are together, all the white people are together, minus Judgment Day, right? And I'm like, nah, fam, nah. Bianca and Jade. I'm like, or Bianca, and Jade. I was like, okay, it still makes sense. They have like the same body types, the same vibe. And then Naomi was like, oh, hey guys. And they're like, you're in. And then I was like,
yeah. And then
okay, that's like all of it. And then they're like, do we have any black male? Carmelo, come here.
Hey,
and he's like, hey, what's up? Can I be? And I'm like, oh my God. Are you doing this, Triple H? This isn't the Nation of Domination, homie. This ain't the 90s anymore.
Yeah.
You can't just grab every black person you have and put them all in a faction together, Trips.
I mean, he did that with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Yes. Like, what in the world? Like, as soon as I saw Carmelo, I was like, oh no, where is this going? This is going to get bad.
Yeah. Like, and then he's all like, at least they're watching my matches. Like, are we going to get like a love story between them now? Like, is that where we're going?
A triangle with Carmelo, all three of them in Carmelo, or just Jade and Bianca? Because Naomi was there and she lost right afterwards.
Maybe that's how. Who's Naomi married? Is she married to Jimmy? Maybe that's how Jimmy Uso comes back.
Yeah. He's like, why I oughta.
He's like, screw you, Roman. I'm gonna go after this Carmelo guy.
Oh man! All right. My first low is going to go to the one and only Pete Dunne. And the reason why it's going to go to Pete Dunne is because he was Butch. And when he was Butch, everybody got so damn mad. How dare you? It's Walter, damn it. It's Pete Dunne, damn it. And Walter was pushed correctly as Gunther. He lost weight, so he became a completely different person. And now there's even jokes where he was interviewed and they literally say, this is Walter. This is Gunther. It's two different people. It's not even the same person. Even Gunther was like, I don't recognize him. And it's just like amazing, right? Pete Dunne becomes Pete Dunne again. And what does he do? He's literally just losing all. Might as well put him back to Butch. At least Butch, a scrappy dude, he was winning some damn matches. You turn this guy to Pete Dunne to have him lose super cleanly to Sheamus, to only have the ring announcers do their best to go, well, that was if anyone won in that match, it definitely wasn't Sheamus. It was Pete Dunne for his effort. And then he goes over to NXT and then loses again. So this dude lost twice in 2 days. And all he can keep saying is how tough he is and how he gets mad when people call him Butch. Bro, you might as well be called Butch. You ain't doing nothing right now. I don't know why you would make Pete Dunne come back, because Pete Dunne is it. Pete Dunne is that dude. He is that guy. If you saw him wrestle before he was Butch, when he was NXT, when he's in the UK and all that stuff. And now all of a sudden they have him just losing over and over and over again. I don't get it. Just because you're in a bunch of feuds. And they have him losing on 2 shows, Ryan. 2 shows.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like he's winning on NXT and losing on Raw. No, he's losing on both. He's starting feuds and getting punked. And all he's saying is, don't call me Butch. And Sheamus calls him Butch every week, which I think is also hurting his credibility. Butch, I mean Pete Dunne. I mean, Pete, don't call me Butch Dunne. I'm like, dude, why are you like ridiculing him? Am I taking him seriously or not? But anyway, he's my low for the week. When you take a double loss, you're gonna have to take the lows.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this guy. I want to like him. I want to get behind him.
He's amazing. Yeah,
but I just can't. And and him losing all that, and he's gonna lose next week too, or whenever him and Trick inevitably clash. It's gonna happen. So. Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing. I don't get it.
Me neither. All right, what's your last low, homie?
My other low is Damage Control. I told you it was women's related.
Oh.
Damage Control. What are we doing? Like, I'm sorry. Like, these girls, I mean, I wasn't a fan of the Pure Fusion Collective losing one of their first matches back. But at least they got protected and they didn't get pinned. But freaking Damage Control is losing all the time. Like, you talk about, like, they lost Bailey, they got Dakota Kai running the show now, and then you have the Kabuki Warriors with her, and Asuka's hurt, but they're just they're
But
losing.
so is
all the
Dakota
time.
Kai now.
Yeah, Dakota Kai's hurt.
She's out for another like 6. So they've lost half their crew off of injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, but every match they're in, like we already know the outcome
Mhm.
before it happens. They're going to lose. The women's tag team
Mhm.
championship match. I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought it was going to go to Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I
Should've.
didn't think it. Yeah, and it should have. You're right, but I didn't see. I knew it wasn't going to Damage Control, and this was one of the first female factions that showed up in WWE, and they looked dominant coming out, and then they were just booked topsy turvy, and
Mhm.
then they got the WrestleMania stuff with Bailey, and things were looking good again, and they were looking strong going into that. Or Damage Control at the faction, not so much
Mhm.
the booking or the build, but
Yeah.
and now they're just three girls randomly put together that can't win any
Mhm.
matches, and I don't get it.
I fully agree. It's a great pick, and poor Damage Control, man.
I know,
Poor
such
Damage.
hype when they came back.
And also, you talk about Trips not believing in DIY, but he believes in Alba Fire and Dawn. Like they're like nobody likes.
Yeah,
I don't even. They
and
get no reaction. They're not that great. I don't
they
understand
only
the uphill.
I really only thought they only won they won the tag team titles was because they were in Scotland.
Uh huh.
And which Drew McIntyre didn't win, so they had to have the hometown
Uh huh.
somebody in the home country win. But they've kept them. They've kept them, so they haven't dropped them yet. And
Yeah.
they Pure Fusion Collective, dominates and comes out and looks strong, and then they lose. And now
Yep.
Damage Control loses yet again. I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of I don't get it and losing, my last low is the Final Testament. What has been the point of them? They build them. They're like the definition of what we used to say about Judgment Day, where you have this group, all they do is talk, act tough, tough, and never win. Have they beat the New Day yet? Since they've been
No,
teaming
they
with
keep
this?
losing.
They why are we still going on with this?
I don't get
And
it.
if Xavier Woods does turn, he wants to join them. They can't even win. They're like the worst faction
Why
of
he's
all
not
time.
turning. Yeah.
No, and Scarlett, who was the finest thing to ever turn brunette and done nothing but not look as hot and lose all the time. And Karrion Kross can't make up his mind. He's like, you know who's scary? Bald faces and long hair. No, that's not scary. Your original look of bald head and facial hair was scary. Long hair with no facial. He shaved his whole face off. I'm like, dude, you look like a dork. It just isn't. It isn't. And the other two, the dudes, the APA
AOP.
or whatever,
Yeah.
AOP. There you go. What's the point of them? And they have two managers, and the old guy who used to do the Road Warriors back in the 40s doesn't even like talk or do anything, and either does Homegirl, the girlfriend that I just named. Scarlett doesn't do anything either. It's just a waste of time, waste of my space. I have no idea what anybody would give a shit about this faction whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't like them. I like them all. Even it just I don't gotta book them. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I know I said that my high was the Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston story,
Uh-huh.
and that still is. But I want nothing to do with Karrion Kross and the Final Testament involved in that. Like that's if Xavier Woods does turn, and if he joins that group, like that's career. I feel like that's career suicide. I feel like why do you want to do that? Like why? That's why he's not turning. It's gonna be Kofi that turns. But still, like I'm still digging that story. But just get Karrion Kross. Like I don't know, maybe send him to NXT. Send that group to NXT. I don't know,
100%.
or book them better because stop having them lose all the time. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
every week.
like
We're gonna fight you next week, and you're gonna lose. And, like we already know the outcomes of that match before it even happens.
Why don't you want to join me? Because you lose all the time, bro.
Why
would I join you? Anyway, all right. Well, that was our highs and lows. Because you suck. All right, let's get into it. As we do every week and every episode, we're gonna end it with our most valuable dude and dudette and our least valuable dude and dudette for the WWE week today. So we always want to start in the negative and end on a positive. So we got the least valuable dude or dudette. Who you got, Ryan? Always first.
Oh man. All right. You touched on it with your first low, but my LVD is none other than Butch, aka Pete Dunne, aka Butch Pete Dunne. He is my one. You lose 2 nights in a row. They don't even recognize. They don't even talk about your match on NXT on Raw. They don't even talk about your match on Raw on NXT. You're just another guy. You lose. You're in the NXT championship picture for some reason, and you can't win. You lose to a guy who doesn't work there. It just I don't get. And not only that, but they had him. He got pinned. Wesley didn't get pinned. Butch Pete Dunne got pinned. He got pinned the night before by Sheamus too, twice in a row, 2 nights in a row. It was Pete Dunne. That's all I got. LVD of the week, and I hate it because I do like Pete Dunne and I want him to be successful. I thought it was great when he changed his name back from Butch to Pete Dunne. I was like, okay, now we're finally gonna get something from this guy. Yeah, and no, nothing. Same old.
Agreed. All right, mine is not because this person sucks, but is a dudette, and it's got to go to Sol Ruca. I've been wanting to talk about this all night, and here's the reason why. Sol Ruca is the best female in NXT right now. I'm even going to count Roxanne Perez, and I love Roxanne Perez. But Sol Ruca, A, it's got the best look. B, it's got the biggest pops. C, has the best finisher in all of professional wrestling, and she does it with ease. You had her lose to an inexperienced Kalani Jordan to win the first ever North American title, and I let that slide. I let it slide because I like Kalani, whatever. I let it slide, and I was hoping that they were going to. That means you lost this because you're moving to the bigger stage. She gets a chance to go, and she loses to another person Jada Parker, who really came out of kind of nowhere and doesn't deserve a title. Now she's getting a title shot. Now, the only way I can see this being okay is because they're not ready for Roxanne Perez to lose a title yet, which you said, and you stated that, so you were right. You said, I don't think Sol Ruca's ready because they're not ready for Roxanne to lose it. So I get that. You don't want to have Sol Ruca lose again, but have Sol Ruca then build a feud or something. Why didn't she lose like second or third and somebody came out and hit her in the head or cost her the match, so she doesn't just like lose clean again to another up and coming NXT star? She is the girl. She's the best in that. Who doesn't want to see Sol Ruca when she's on there? We're ready to go. Her look, her vibe, her promos are good. Her in-ring ability is the best. Her moves, her finisher, she's creative, and she's just jobbing week after week. I don't get it. She was in a tag team for a couple weeks in a row in the past few weeks, and she was losing those matches, and now she's losing. And I just don't get it. Once again, if you keep losing and losing and losing, pretty soon the crowd's going to stop caring. And I just do not F up Sol Ruca because she is that star.
Yeah, especially they're lucky right now because they're in the Performance Center, and those fans are pretty loyal, and they understand the assignment, right? You boo when you're supposed to boo, you cheer when you're supposed to cheer. But once they start going on the road and going to different cities and different venues, that stuff's not going to fly with certain crowds. It might fly with some crowds, but it's not going to fly with all crowds, especially like the Chicagos and the New Yorks and the Pennsylvania and the Phillies, where they're more vocal than ever. So don't ruin this girl, because the crowd will let you know about it.
Agreed. All right. Most valuable dude or dudette. Who do you got?
This was hard. This was really hard, but I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and the New Judgment Day. So the whole gamut, the whole group, all of them. Just because they're the best story in wrestling, the best story in the WWE, the hottest angle. You don't really know where they're going next. This week the Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan got the best of the Judgment of the Terror Twins, but even then, like, they didn't look weak. The Terror Twins look strong, even though they just got outnumbered. Finn Balor is still hunting down Damian Priest when he least expects it, like he said he was going to do in the promo. Just everything these guys and girls are doing are absolutely killing it. They're fantastic. It's the best story. They're carrying all of WWE right now, because SmackDown has been the same thing, wash, rinse, repeat over and over. The Judgment Day has made Raw refreshing, fun to watch, and Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are a big part of that. So they get my MVDs of the week.
Phenomenal pick. You already heard what I said about them, and they were going to be my pick, but I thought you might pick them, so I had a different one. And I'm going with somebody who you didn't like. It still says least valuable, I noticed. But someone who you didn't like, and that is Jacob Fatu. I was going to go with Mitchen's boob, but I decided Jacob Fatu, it's a walking boot, was, the MVT. That's what she definitely got that. But no, it's got to be Jacob Fatu, man. I'm telling you, goats don't get beaten up. People don't even beat up Roman Reigns. This dude straight rolled in, and it took me a while because he was whooping Roman's butt so bad that Roman looked like this. Right?
Yeah.
Like he saw a ghost, 3 ghosts that was. And he straight, I saw whooping him, and then I was like, dude, he whooped. And then I was like, what's on his foot? And I looked, and I'm like, that's a what? He's kicking his ass on a walking boot. Holy cow. I don't think I've ever seen that. I've never seen anybody beat somebody up that bad. And he was destroying them. He's putting it to him. And Roman had no idea. I thought that was the best way to introduce Jacob Fatu to the fray, because now he's going to be injured, gone a little bit. And now we can have them not touch again for a little bit. But I liked it. Nice touch. Good on them. And it was nice to see Jacob Fatu back. Let's see if he defends his tag team titles in a walking boot. I think they need to run with it, that this dude's so vicious and such a werewolf or whatever, or so blah, 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 that he could just beat people up in a walking boot.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I do agree. They should run with it and bring it up in story and talk about it. But they like glossed over the fact. Like they didn't even mention it at all. That was like,
no.
Are we supposed to like not notice that? Like, are they just like not mentioning the fact that he's doing all this on one foot? But no, yeah, the commentators didn't talk about it. Nobody talked. It was weird. But yeah, I mean, that's a good pick. I mean, Jacob Fatu is the real deal. He is he's the backbone of the new bloodline, where he's the X factor, man. Like we saw what Roman did the week before with Jacob Fatu wasn't on TV, and now we see what Jacob Fatu did when he comes back to Roman Reigns. So yeah, I mean, it's a solid pick. Jacob Fatu is, to me, he's the best person in this new bloodline. He's the best guy, and he's fun to watch for sure.
He's definitely like the Sami Zayn of this bloodline, but different, right? Not because of the jokes, but because he's just carrying it just because his viciousness. He's just
it's
keeping them going. I agree. All right, that's our WWE week, y'all. Tune in next week because we're going to do the lead in to Bash in Berlin, and I think we'll decide whether or not we're going to do a live watch along for that. I don't know what time it's at. It's like Labor Day weekend, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it. If we don't, we'll see. But anyway, either way, don't forget to tune in next week just to listen to the podcast because we'll have predictions and so on. And speaking of that, if you do watch AEW, tomorrow we'll have our AEW edition where we will do predictions for all 75 matches at All In. It should be really good. It'll be our whole entire podcast. We're just going to do predictions, not talk about anything. Just kidding. We're still going to do Rampage Collision.
It's going to be like a 4-hour episode too. So we're going to get ready.
Get ready. Got to break them down. Got to break down each prediction. But with that said, don't forget to tune into that. And as always, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. We did a short this week that blew up. Our videos are getting a little bit more steam. WWE did more than AEW, so thank you for tuning in. But don't forget to comment and like them as well. Don't just listen to us then bone out. Say something. Talk to us. Something. What are we doing right? Wrong?
Agree with us. Disagree. Let us know.
Heck yeah. Let's hear it. Let's hear why beating up the goat in a walking boot isn't impressive. I want to hear it. Let me know why I should buy a Final Testament t-shirt. You know what I mean? Let me hear it.
Yeah.
And as
why
always,
is Kofi turning on Xavier? Yeah. Because he is.
Let's see. Yeah, I cannot wait till he does it. It's going to be a good day. Yeah, you are. And I'm going to bring it up. And then, if you just want to hear me on all social media, HBD Denton, you can catch me everywhere. TikTok, please watch because I don't get enough views. So check me out. And with me, as always, is the man who thinks Xavier Woods is not going to turn heel.
And if he does, he's not a heel because Kofi's been being a little tool bag the last couple of months, but
you're gonna go that route.
Yeah,
he's just turning as a baby face. It's not.
Yeah, he's turned. It's like when Sammy turned on Roman. That wasn't a heel. He turned baby face.
Then he joins Final Testament. No, Karrion Kross is now a baby face too.
Yeah,
they're all baby.
They're all baby faces. Yeah, they're all Bible thumping baby faces. But remember, New Day started off as like a.
Do you remember that 27 years ago? Yeah, they started off as like a.
So now he's going to join the Final Testament. I mean, long-term storytelling, right? But yeah, anyway, Ryan enjoys wrestling on all social media platforms. Go follow me, go listen. Go tune in to our TikTok account at 2dudespc or at 2 Dudes with Attitudes rather, on X at 2dudespc, and then working on creating an Instagram account for us and some other stuff where we can post more of our clips and our reels there. But yeah, keep subscribing to the YouTube. We're at 1,250 followers right now, 1,250.
Yeah.
I want to get up to 1,300, maybe 1,400 relatively soon. We want to move up the ladder pretty quickly. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, we appreciate all the love and support. Go drop us a 5-star rating and review. Tell everyone who your 2 favorite dudes are and let them know why 2024 is the year of the dudes.
Two dudes
Wolf
attitudes,
pack.
let's go. It's the 2 dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcasting, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the 2 dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.